Today I'm going to be talking to the owners of two of Staffordshire's award-winning professional services businesses, Simon McAlpine of Infinity IT Solutions and Matthew Bailey of Howard's Accountants. Infinity is Staffordshire's most prominent IT firm, delivering all-encompassing solutions to a whole host of service businesses across the region. Howard's Accountants continues to harness its reputation as the #1 accountancy firm in the area, and its progressive outlook on its solutions and the services it provides certainly cements that. Now, the reason for the visit today is to find out more about the relationship, to understand how the two partnered together, and also to understand in greater depth how both companies managed to overcome the obstacles faced by GDPR. So I'm now joined by Matthew Bailey, MD of Howard's Accountants. So Matthew, could you tell me more about Howard's and your relationship with Infinity?
It goes back 9 years. We've both grown our businesses relatively together. It became apparent, probably 7-8 years ago, we'd outgrown our current IT supplier and we needed better resource. More and more of our clients were using IT services, it was becoming cloud-based services, and we needed a solution suitable for now and for the future. And it seemed obviously that IITL were ahead of the game and the perfect choice. And I can honestly say it was the best decision we've ever made. Without what they've done for us, we wouldn't be in the position where we are. The downtime we used to have with our previous provider has changed dramatically. We don't get any downtime whatsoever. They're forward thinking and ahead of the game.
So we've heard nothing but GDPR over the last few months. Now, we all acknowledge that it is the biggest change to the data legislation in a generation, but being a business owner and dealing with sensitive information, how has that impacted your business?
With regards to the IOC, we are very, very top of the list with regards to risk. We are the people who are more likely will come and audit and look at us, and we're the people more likely will be seeing the fines in the future. Therefore, from an accountancy practice, we've got to take this very, very seriously. We already take client confidentiality serious in any case, but this is a brand new level, way above what we've been used to. It was brought to attention by Infinity probably a good 7-8 months ago that this new legislation was coming in, and we needed to prepare for it because of the challenges which we're going to face. We had no idea what these challenges were. They introduced us to a third party, and with the third party in the help of IITL, we've had to implement various processes and IT systems in the practice to make sure we're now compliant with GDPR. Some examples of this: we've had to have a brand new firewall with Meraki firewall. We've had to update our email system. We've got to go for an encryption. We've had to go for CCTV, training on OneDrive, privacy statements, and all this kind of thing has all been helped and guided with Infinity and their advisors. Without their help and support, we would pretty much be in the dark. I can honestly say, compared to our competitors in the area, we are far, far way in advance. Some of our competitors in our area not even thought about it yet. A prime example is we've got a payroll bureau. We've got 8,500 people we do payroll for. And obviously when we send the pay slips out, the old days, it used to be send the pay slips out on the old normal email. GDPR, you can no longer do that. It's got to be encrypted, it's got to be received by the other end, it's got to be safe and people can't intercept it. The solution IITL is put in place means that there is no cost to the employee, and it's also encrypted and it meets GDPR requirements. The safeguards and firewalls we've put in, again with the help of IITL, means we're fully compliant. It means that all our data is safe. It's encrypted. People can't break into it. It's backed up over various areas. And again, it's all fully compliant to GDPR. It meets all privacy notices. Again, we're way ahead of our competitors in this area. But it's all due to our service we've had from IITL, telling us what we need, how to do it, and coming up with solutions.
So we've heard from Matthew, so now I'm being joined by Simon McAlpine. So Simon, could you explain how the relationship works for Infinity?
So the relationship with Howard's is a great example of outsourcing working at its best. We first aligned to Howard's back in 2009 when the business was started, through a deeply rooted desire of ours to be aligned to the best in the business. And a short while after, Matt and the senior management team there recognised some key attributes to our business that they thought they could benefit from. So today it's a reciprocal partnership, if you like, where we provide a fully outsourced IT service. So we are their IT director, their service delivery manager, their help desk, procurement, right the way through. All of that being underpinned by a 24/7 service desk operating 365 days a year with a 30-minute response.
So how has Infinity aided Howard's in tackling GDPR, and what was the approach you took?
GDPR's divided opinion. There are businesses that look at GDPR as a obstacle to overcome, and then there are others that use it as a strategic advancement in their delivery to their clients and something to celebrate their security. Matthew and the team at Howard's clearly fit into the latter of those two camps. So the approach was quite straightforward actually. We sat with their GDPR practitioner and their senior management team, walked through a risk analysis of the business, what policies, procedures needed to be changed, and then in very much a collaborative way, we arrived at solutions, technology sets that were able to automate and enforce the new policies and procedures that the business had designed.
So GDPR is in its infancy, and many of the statutes are ambiguous. So what were the technology solutions that you introduced to ensure that Howard's was compliant?
Well, with Howard's, it wasn't really a question of new technologies. The business was already in a great position with the core infrastructure it had got in place, so servers, switches, storage. Complementing that with our change management system and ITIL-based processes, we're actually in a really good position as a starting point. There are a few changes made to things like group policy, Active Directory to automate and enforce some of the principles that had changed. But the element that we really got involved with was around cybersecurity. Matthew and the team at Howard's have kept a watchful eye on the cybersecurity landscape. As we sit here today talking, there are tens of thousands of changes that happen. So Matthew was adamant that what he wanted to do was ensure that the business was protected from denial of service attacks. The UK was announced the second largest target worldwide for those kind of attacks. So we did that by introducing advanced layer 7 security at the principal offices, whilst also making sure his mobile working solutions were channeled through the same gateways. Once we'd done that, attention turned to something that I think really makes a difference to the Howard's business and how they operate. And to understand that, you need to understand the business. What they do is not just control things like payroll, which is of course sensitive data, but they're also involved in a lot of taxation discussions, a lot of mergers and acquisitions. So Matthew wanted to try and control that data when it left the Howard's network, which is clearly a difficult thing to do. So we looked to Microsoft Azure RMS or Rights Management System to try and police some of that data. What that ultimately means now is that any data that leaves the Howard's network via email is not only encrypted during transit, but the company can also apply extra policies to it. So they're able to set expiry dates on that data, which links nicely to GDPR's rights to erasure. They're able to stop people copying any of the data within a document. They're able to stop them saving duplicates, stop it from being forwarded, printed, any number of things that fit the use case. So there's a number of technologies that's gone in. In addition to that, there's things like antivirus with machine learning built into it. But ultimately, it's not a question of the technologies that are in place. It's a question of Infinity's security as a service continuing to deliver an anti-aging security platform. And that's really important. If you talk to most CEOs, CTOs, CIOs, anyone in a C-level management within a business, talk to them about technology, and their concern is that the minute you put it in, it's got a clock ticking the wrong way. It's out of date as soon as it's been commissioned. So what we've done at Infinity is package industry-leading technology within a security as a service model, so a subscription model that's constantly up to date. So business owners can feel comfortable that their digital assets, be it intellectual property, staff's personal details, clients' personal details, are all safeguarded by our subscription service.
It's immensely positive to see how these two businesses have managed to overcome the obstacles faced by GDPR. I can understand now how Simon and Matthew's companies are both leaders in their respective sectors. So if you want to find out more about either of the businesses, talk to the team today.